It has been a minute. Thank you guys for coming in for this video. I know it has been a long time since I've uploaded, and I've been holding out, sharing some things because I had to wait for things to get confirmed, and I briefly alluded to it in my previous video, but I'm back and I'm happy to share a lot of things. So in the time that I've been gone, I've been focusing on one giant kind of big project with a lot of smaller projects that kind of come included with that. And I'm now happy to share some developments and things that have happened. So as you saw, I didn't have an intro, obviously, because in my previous video I said I wasn't with Forbid anymore. And it was a good venture when I was with them and stuff. But I am now happy, very happy, to say I am part of Wraith eSports. Cue the intro. So as you can see, I have a little bit of an updated overlay, and this video I'm going to kind of give you guys some detail about the org, about how I'm fitted into it, and some different things going on with it. A lot of it I'm really excited to share with you guys because it involves your participation. So with that being said, let's get right into it. I have a lot of things I want to show you. So the first thing is you'll see, besides that intro, which I'm happy to say I actually made myself. Pretty happy with that. First time ever doing something to that extent. But beyond that, I am now a part of Wraith eSports. The owner and I talked for a long while. They're a new organization, and they're not quite the typical organization esport org that you might think of. So as I was a part of Forbid Gaming and Aspire on the Halo team exclusively, Wraith eSports is designed to not just be a competitive org, which they are. We have teams in Call of Duty for both PS4 and Xbox, Gears of War, Fortnite, and we're looking to go into Rainbow Six Siege, as well as Halo. And I am happy to say that I am the official captain of the new Halo 5 roster for Wraith eSports, and I'm beginning recruitment, if you will. From my experience and from what I've seen, most esport orgs kind of focus on putting rosters together, finding a team, and then sending them out to events and stuff like that. And one of the biggest things that this owner, who is really great guy, said that he wants to focus on is, before putting a big emphasis on building these rosters first and having them grind out GBs and stuff like that and getting them thrusted right into it, he wants to have the ability, the means, and the community to support that. And he is really determined, and I believe it's a really cool idea, that he wants to build a community not just for the competitive team, almost as content creation as well. So not only do we have those rosters in place, we also have a team of community designers, we have content creators, streamers who work, and even though they may not be on a roster, they are just working to just grow our community. The emphasis isn't solely on the rosters for any of those teams that I mentioned. It's also on building people who want to be a part of something bigger. Forbid was a lot like that. Sadly, they didn't go out into Halo as much, but what's nice about this is that this org, the owner, comes from Halo specifically, and now he's branching out into these other games, and he has the knowledge and experience in all of them, which is really great. And so I'm really happy to say that the vision that Wraith eSports has already matches mine. So I have a lot to go over about what that includes. We have not only a big content creator side, we have streamers who stream almost every day, different every game under the sun, ranges from Fortnite to Halo to Rainbow Six to you name it. How I fit in is not only am I the Halo team captain, I am also the lead content creator and social media advertiser. And that may seem a little confusing, as those are my official titles. Might be wondering what a social media advertiser is. That is because we have 4 official sponsors, which I'd like to introduce and actually show you a little about the products. And the reason why we're doing this is our community, like I said, is we want that to support our teams and rosters. So we have these 4 sponsorships that we're looking to expand upon, and those directly will support the rosters once they are in place. And so our sponsorships, if you haven't seen already, on the bottom of my screen, we have a nice little rotating overlay. We have Clash Attire, Fade Grips, Rogue Energy, and Cinch Gaming. And I'll explain a little bit about each, just so I can quickly give you guys a little overview. That way, if you aren't familiar with the product, I can share it with you. So let's get right into it. And so here is the official Twitter page of Wraith eSports. If you haven't, please be sure to follow them on Twitter at WraithOrg. We're a new org. They just started in, I believe, February, and I just got taken on about a month ago. So I've been behind the scenes working on a lot, and as the official lead content creator, what I've been doing is they haven't had anyone to really officially make the official branding of the org. So I've come in and I've put my heart and soul into making some overlays for a lot of the streamers and content creators, working on putting roster announcements for our Call of Duty teams. And that's what I've been having to do a lot of initial work of. That's why I've sadly not been able to make any videos, because there's been a lot of initial work that I've had to do that once it's in place, it's kind of self-managing. But I'm really happy to say I'm happy with all the support everyone in the org has given. It's a great community. That's something that I really looked for in an org, and I found it in Forbid, but sadly it didn't cross over well into Halo. And Aspire was a good roster, but it didn't have a bigger scope in mind in the way that I love to do content creation for you guys. This is a good marriage of both, and I'm so excited. So what we have here is the official Twitter page, and if you haven't, please be sure to give it a like. So what we have also, I'm going to show you the sponsors. So our first one is Clash Attire. If you don't know, they are a clothing company, and we are partnered with them and have our own apparel line. And so we have our official jerseys, which I am absolutely in love with. You guys know me, I love my red and black theme, and this theme of red and black was already established in the org, and I just cannot get enough of it. How it works is we have obviously a jersey, long sleeve, and this, which it's summer right now, so I really can't there is no justification for this, but this hoodie jersey, which I didn't even know existed, so happy about that. But you can check out any of these products at clashattire.net/collections/Wraith. And for all our sponsors, we have a discount code. So if you use the code at checkout when you use any of these products, which I do recommend you try out, I understand some people may not be in a position. There are different things you can buy that have different costs. But whenever you use a different Wraith org promo code, you get a discount, and it helps benefit us in the long run, which directly goes into supporting, let's say, the Halo roster and stuff like that. So what we have here is the official jersey, long sleeve. We also have a flag, which I'm going to be getting soon. Then we also have just the regular, more casual t-shirt, tank tops, and the hoodies. So be sure to check it out. If you use the code, it says actually on my overlay, if you use the code WraithOrg at checkout, you get 10% off. And then it also goes to benefit us in the long run. And then we also have Rogue Energy. Now, when I was with Aspire, we were also sponsored by Rogue Energy there. And this, I believe we are a higher tier with them here at Wraith eSports. And if you don't know, if you haven't seen my previous videos, Rogue Energy is something very similar to G Fuel. We have new flavors, we have different starter packs and things like that. I just want to give you a quick little overview. If you're unsure about if you want to even try it at all, I can tell you from personal experience, I actually really like this product. sometimes with my schedule, I can only start gaming late at night, and by that time, I start kind of running out of steam. And I'll end up taking some single serves of the Rogue Energy, and it does help me be alert. Not hyper, because that's something that like energy drinks do. They just kind of make you hyper, and you may have a short little burst of energy that will translate well for a small amount of time. This is actually designed, avoids a lot of sugars, a lot of the harmful chemicals that are found in energy drinks, and then it focuses on B vitamins to give you endurance and focus for your longer gaming sessions. We also have these little like starter kits if you are unsure about what to get. They have different flavors with the shaker cup. If you don't even want the shaker cup, you can do single serves, and they're really inexpensive, like $7.99, $5.99. $7.99 is their new flavor, or is the mixed pack with their new flavor, blue raspberry. But I recommend trying these. Probably the mixed flavor one that way you can find which one you like, and it doesn't hurt to try. You get 4 serves out of it, and when you use the code as found on our Twitter page, the Wraith.org code, you get 10% off, and again, it goes to benefit us. You'll see on the bottom of my overlay exactly how to spell it at the checkout, and then you can do that when you go to get the product. Cinch Gaming. Now, for those of you who don't know, I use an Xbox One Elite controller with paddles, okay? Now, Cinch Gaming, mainly in eSports, we have mainly one controller expert besides the developers, Microsoft or PS4 or Sony. There's Scuff Gaming. Scuff uses paddles on the back, very similar to my Elite, and they make controllers for both Xbox and PS4. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of the paddle placement on Scuff, which is why I haven't gone and bought a Scuff controller. And me personally, I use the Elite controller because of the paddle placement, alright? And I got a warranty, so I'm going to be using this for a while. This was my... I'm just so used to this, I don't think I could ever separate from this. I just love it. But if you're new to Halo or anything like that, or if you're looking for a controller where you don't have to claw, for me, my hands are too small, I can't claw at all, you might be looking into getting a modded controller. So they aren't cheating in any way, if you're wondering. They're obviously allowed at tournaments and stuff. A lot of pros use them. And with the thing with Scuff, to be honest, is that the paddles they're really hard to depress. I've held one, I've tried one, and I didn't like it. It took a lot of energy and strength to actually make a single paddle click. And also, I've heard and seen a lot of reports of them, just the way the paddles are with Scuff, that they tend to break and that they don't fit right sometimes. And also, like I said, their paddle placement goes straight down the back along here rather than on the sides. And I didn't know about Cinch Gaming until my friend Nemesis from Straight Rippin' and we hung out at Columbus, Ohio for the MLG event, and he actually uses a Cinch controller. And what's cool about it is it's a lot cheaper. You can get all the bells and whistles with it, and you can get button remapping and all that, just like Scuff. It is a lot less expensive when you compare the two. And so I'm just going to go to Xbox real quick. And so you can get your own custom Xbox controller or PS4, or you can get ones that are pre-made. For the custom Xbox, you'll see that there is these, they have buttons on the back, not paddles, which really caught me off guard when I first saw it. Didn't know what I would think, but then I looked at the button placement, and I realized with the paddles, in comparison to buttons, the paddles, for me, they do wear out over time. They do get a little wiggle room. Same thing goes with Scuff. And I know with Cinch Gaming, it actually, these buttons are built in. They're just like normal face buttons on the Xbox. And you can add just bottom two or top buttons as well, which sit exactly where the paddles would on the Xbox Elite. So right now, I'm still using the Elite, but when the time comes, I'm actually might be making a switch over, because the biggest thing for me, it wasn't the paddles themselves, it was their placement. And so this here is cheaper than Elite controller, and you can customize this in a lot more ways than you can with an Elite. I still recommend Elite if you have it. You know, I'm not knocking it in its quality or anything. I'm just excited to try out Cinch Gaming. I haven't yet, but if you're looking to get a controller for, let's say the one you have is breaking down or anything like that, it might be a good investment to check this out. You can have different design options for the face, rear panel, stuff like that. You can have custom like rubber grips on the sides, or like even carbon fiber ones. There's also adjustable trigger stops, button remapping, because you can normally just say, okay, I want this top right one to be, you know, B or whatever. But if you have, let's say, different games that you play competitively, you can remap them and you can get that option. For the buttons themselves, you can actually have them as LED buttons that you would see on, let's say, the Xbox One home, the home button for the Xbox controller. And so I thought that was really cool. If you've seen my my RGB lighting in my room, you know I'm a big fan of that. Even if you don't want a new controller, they also sell some other products. You can, you know, shop the gear. There's accessories, different cables, stuff like that. But if you are looking, I know this is probably a lot less likely, but if you are looking for a new controller and you aren't afraid with trying something new, I know Nemesis uses it and has come to a liking to it. And I've heard a lot of good things about it. I know they're growing pretty rapidly, even just from a few months ago when I first heard about them. And again, with the placement, I can personally recommend that placement of buttons is really, really useful. I've seen other attempts at button placement, and they've been placed in awkward positions that is not ergonomic to your hands. And that right there is literally where the Elite is. And if you're an Xbox guy, which I assume you are watching this, I cannot recommend that enough. So go ahead and check them out, Cinch Gaming. And if you do get a product, you can use the code Wraith Organization for 5% off at checkout. Again, helps you, helps us. And then our last sponsor is Fade Grips. You've probably heard of something similar called Control Freaks. My friend Novacast is sponsored by them. But Fade Grips is an alternative to Control Freaks. They're a little bit less expensive, and they have a lot of variety with it. And not only that, they also have cases. This is going to be a little bit different, but a different use. But actually, my cousin, Roland Joe, he has his own YouTube channel that he's pretty new to. He has a disability, cerebral palsy, and he plays PS4, and he loves it. He loves games. He has a great passion for them. But because he has a hard time articulating his hands and with muscle control, he ends up dropping his controllers a lot. And the PS4 controllers are really expensive. So we looked into getting a PS4 controller case because they're rubberized, soft, and comfortable. Not only does it make it easier for my cousin to hold, if he were to drop it, it does have an added layer of protection. It does dissipate some of the energy when it does hit the ground and stuff like that. So I recommend, if you haven't already, let's just say, I know a lot of players, their hands get really sweaty. This may be a product for you for, you know, the Xbox One and stuff. For these grips, now, I use the Elite controller, and if you notice on my right thumbstick where I use my aiming, I actually have the tallest thumbstick possible. Right, and I've noticed that actually increased my aiming accuracy in Halo 5. No joke. I mean, that's why I use it. And I also helped Archie Telos, my roommate. He elected to go with a taller thumbstick after trying it out. It adds a level of control that normally isn't there. So you can actually get these Pro Grips, or whichever one you want. I do recommend the Pro Grips just because they seem a little bit more durable and clean as well. I'm also a sucker for red, so I just saw that and I love it. And also, it will raise up the threshold of the thumbstick by a little bit. It may not be to the extent of how high the Elite one is, but if you haven't already, go ahead and try it out. And like I said, it's very inexpensive, $3. Like it won't hurt to try it out. You're not only getting to know the product and seeing if it might elevate your game, but you're also benefiting us and helping elevate our team and our organization as well. So the code for Fade Grips is WraithOrg, and you get 20% off at checkout for Fade Grips. So I wanted to go over a little bit more about the org specifically and how I'm involved in it and some different things that we have going on. Again, as I mentioned with the sponsors, if you could support that in any way, that would mean a lot to me personally. and to the org as a whole. I know I've never really asked this before, but I'm asking you, go ahead and please try out those products. I do honestly believe in each and every one of them. I personally may not use each product yet, simply because I've already kind of been equipped when I came on board for Wraith org. I know even with me personally, just the rogue energy and having a controller that helps you be more efficient has literally elevated my game. Just I got it about a year ago, and in a week after getting used to the paddles, I saw my KD go just up a full degree. It was amazing. But I wanted to let you guys know that I'm still offering private lessons. Right now, I'm currently looking into developing a website that would make it easier for you guys to get lessons in what you need. I've had a variety of customers ranging from people who've never played the game before that I still do lessons with because they have a lot to learn. They've never touched a FPS shooter before, and teaching them from the ground up. It's ranged all the way from that to just really good players who want work with just skill jumps on a certain map because they need help with it. And I can tell you that each and every one of them will say that there's nothing better than one-on-one coaching and instruction. As great as a resource that YouTube is, it never tells you what you are doing incorrectly or what you could improve upon directly. It doesn't have individualized feedback. So that's something that I offer. I have a really great curriculum. Message me on Twitter at OFSREagle, or you can even comment down below or give me your gamer tag. Even message me on Xbox if you are interested in it. I am going to let you guys know it does cost, and it ranges. It depends on your current skill level, what you're looking to learn, how long, stuff like that. I take it all into consideration when making an estimate. But it's something that I've found to be really helpful. I love teaching. I love helping you guys. I know that everyone has different financial situations, but as I am looking to make this, put a lot of energy and effort into it, I do have to be able to support myself as well. I'm living out on my own, got some things I have to take care of, so I can't do it for free. I am looking to, like I said, make a website that would actually be able to fill out a form that you can select whatever you want to learn. It ranges from skill jumps to gunfight meta to you name it, and then subsections as well. And each thing will have a certain price point. And the more you, like, if you get certain packages together, you get a discount. If you can recommend, like, let's say you are taking lessons and then you want to recommend a friend to it, and you kind of also recommend to Wraith org, there's a discount for that. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments if you're still interested in lessons. Again, I've been offering them. I know Halo 5 is a pretty old game, but one thing that one of my students and even I realize is that with Halo Infinite now being announced and all that, now is the time to kind of see if you haven't already. Like with one of my students, he's has to come in, learn the game, and now he has to play catch up in order to get prepared for Halo Infinite whenever it comes out. If you've ever looked at past pros and look at Snipe Down and Snakebite, the pros have remained pros for so long because they started in older Halos and they got good at that one, let's say Halo 3 or Halo 2, and then when the next Halo came out, they were already in the right mindset and knew how to anticipate the next competitive game and how to adapt to it. And then when the next one came out, it's like building blocks on top of another to increase your understanding and your overall skill as a competitive player. Even though Halo 5 is old and you want to go competitive in Halo Infinite, it may not be in your best interest to disregard Halo 5 right now, seeing that Halo Infinite is announced and just, I'll wait till then. It's going to build off of this in some way, shape, or form. So, with that being said, you probably have to, if you haven't already, try to master this and then adapt to the new one. So, like I said, I'm offering these lessons. I'm excited to, something that I love doing. Please be sure to let me know if you're interested. The last thing I want to say is that we're also looking into bringing some more content creators. Just when I say content creators, I mean just people who kind of were like me, who kind of just make content, whether it be for Halo or any game. And if you want to be under the Wraith organization, be sure to reach out to us. We have a Discord that you're more than welcome. I'll leave a link down in the description. You're more than welcome to join that. And as far as eSport rosters and stuff, I believe are pretty much finalized, and like the captains and stuff. But for content creators, you're more than welcome to inquire about being a content creator for us, just being yourself and promoting the org as well. You also get benefits when being a org member through different discount codes, different promotions, and the org is also really focused on helping you, the streamer / content creator. I remember the first time I streamed right after I joined the org, I had the best numbers I ever had streaming. And it's just because they're there to support and help grow you individually. With that being said, I'm going to wrap up the video. I know it's been a long one. I had a lot to update you guys on. I'm excited to share with you guys what's going on. I'm going to very soon be focusing on the Halo roster, building that up. With that being said, be sure to check out the sponsors and let me know down in the comments what you think, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.